Today, I'm harvesting fresh mullein leaves local to the inland Northwest. Mullein has a long history of being used as an herbal tea, especially for supporting respiratory health and soothing the throat. It's one of those plants that has been valued for generations. After harvesting, and before I do anything else, I like to give the leaves a really good rinse. Even though these come straight from the bluff, they can still have dirt, dust, bugs, or little bites of debris hidden on them. A good wash helps make sure I'm starting with clean leaves before preserving them and letting them dry. After rinsing, I gently pat them dry and let any excess moisture evaporate. You don't want to trap extra water when you're preparing herbs for long-term storage. This is an important process, very important step not to miss. I allowed these to air dry for 24 hours. One thing that's really important when working with mullein is that the leaves are covered in tiny little hairs. Those hairs are part of the plant's natural structure, but if they end up in your tea or tincture, they can actually irritate your throat instead of soothing it. That's why I always make sure to strain my mullein really well before using it for tea or tinctures. I like to use a fine mesh strainer, coffee filter, or even a piece of cheesecloth to catch those tiny hairs. Take a few extra minutes to filter it well can make a big difference in the final product and give you a much smoother experience when drinking it. One of the many reasons I love mullein is that it's often called a lung support herb. For generations, people have turned to mullein tea to help soothe the throat and support respiratory wellness. It contains naturally occurring compounds like mucilage, which can have a soothing effect, and it's packed with beneficial plant compounds. Plus, it's caffeine-free, easy to grow, and one of those herbs that reminds me that some of the most useful plants that can grow, that can be used for medicinal purposes, can be grown right in your own backyard. While I was out harvesting mullein, I also gathered some beautiful elderflowers. Before preserving them, I'll take a few minutes to remove the larger stems and separate the blossoms from the stems. The flowers are the part we want to save, and a little prep now makes them much easier to use later, and they won't have a bitter taste to them. So once they're cleaned up, they'll go into the freeze dryer right alongside my mullein. All right, here my mullein has been sitting out for 24 hours, air drying. They are completely dry. The leaves have no moisture left on them whatsoever. They are ready to get put into the freeze dryer. Freeze drying is one of my favorite ways to preserve seasonal harvest because it allows me to enjoy them long after the growing season is over. So here we are pulling out our mullein leaves from the freeze dryer. They are completely dry. This is the elderflower. That is completely dry. They are ready to be stored in our mason jars. Now it's time to use the electric vacuum sealer. This will help keep out moisture and oxygen out of the jar. This helps extend shelf life and keeps the leaves fresh even longer. When I'm ready for tea, I simply steep a small amount of mullein leaves in hot water for about 10 to 15 minutes. Many people enjoy mullein tea because it's traditionally used to support healthy lungs, soothe occasional throat irritation, and provide gentle herbal wellness support. It's naturally caffeine-free, making it a great option any time of day. One thing to remember, mullein leaves have tiny hairs on them, so it's best to strain your tea well before drinking it. There's something special about preserving medicinal herbs for your apothecary and enjoying your own herbal teas. This is another step to my Urban to Preserving journey.
Just getting back.